Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a first year sound student on the TPA course here at Mountview, and I'm also the sound number 3 on Carousel here.
Cool. Jeremy, can you tell us a little bit about your year so far?
The year started off with us just kind of getting used to obviously being at Mountview and how Mountview worked. Um, we had a few trips as well. We got to go see Prince of Egypt, and we did some public speaking. And then we went straight into a production skills module where we kind of dived into all the different departments in theatre: stage management, lighting, sound, scenic art, um, all of it really. So yeah, pretty much that's what it helped me really to learn about all the other different departments and what to do and how to do it. Um, so when it comes to like working on show roles, you kind of have, I don't know, respect, or you kind of understand what's going on in other departments when things are taking too long, or yeah.
Great. And so you've gone straight into your first lot of show roles here at Mountview in January. Can you tell us a bit about what show roles you've done already and what you're doing now?
Cool. So the first show role I did here at Mountview, I was the number 3 on the Actors Showcase. So it was just, I think there was a group of 33, but they came in groups of 6. And that was my first role ever fitting mics, and I've never fitted mics before I came to Mountview, so all of that I've learned here. So yeah, basically I was just basically looking after all the mics and making sure they're all colour matched and basically ready to go, and testing all the packs, so that the number 1 / sound designer was happy.
Cool. And now you're the number 3 on Carousel, which is a bit of a bigger show,
Yeah.
a bit more of a traditional show. Tell us a bit about how that's been and what your a normal day looks like.
Yeah, so Carousel's the first musical I've done here, and this one's a bit different because the Actor Showcase was filmed. We've now got a live audience, got a full team. We've got an orchestra pit as well, and instead of people coming in groups, it's just everyone comes on stage. So yeah, normal day we just come in, we battery up, making sure that all the mics are still working. We do a line check on stage. We check the pit as well, and we're listening on our Sony radio mics here. We're using 22. We've got 24 here, but we're using 22 for the show. So we're using 23 and 24 as spares, just in case anything goes wrong. We've got 2 ready to go with mics ready. So
Great. And on this show, you've got a professional number 2. What's that been like?
yeah, so here at Mountview we get to work with professionals already in the industry, and for me it's been a real good eye opener seeing how they operate, because obviously they've been doing it a lot longer than now, and it's been good for me to learn from them and obviously bring it into my workflow and how I work. So yeah.
Great. So on this show, you're involved in monitoring and fitting mics. So how has that been with the cast, and how does that go on a daily basis?
Our radio world essentially is up on the fly floor or the tension wire grid. So, and the cast are located all the way on the bottom floor in the dressing rooms. So between me and the number 2 hop, we have to kind of. So I'll do like act 1 downstairs and she'll do act upstairs listening, because we always have to have someone here listening before anyone goes on, or just at big moments where we expect breakages to happen. The cast also are quite good with mics. I've done shows here before, so they're quite familiar with our mics and how to fit them and stuff. I think with me and Hop, there's just a few people we have to fit, but the majority of people there are quite good at fitting their own mics. We just kind of just go around and make sure they're in the right position, and then we kind of give radio clearance to our number 1, Ryan, and then we're good to go.
Glorious. And so then following this, you've got a few more roles before you go back into classes. How are they going to be different than the ones you're in at the minute?
So yeah, at the moment I'm number 3 on Carousel. My next show role is number 2 on the Actor Musician Showcase. So I'll be stepping up a role, and I'll be leading basically the sound backstage, all the mics and all the mics and the instruments as well, because acting musician, so there'll be instruments on stage and dealing with that, so that the number 1 can focus on mixing and whatever he has to do, or she or they have to do. Yeah.
Cool. Jeremy, can you just show us show us around Sound World a little bit?
Yeah. As you can see here, if I just move to the side, we've got Sony digital wireless radio mics here, 24 channels of these, and this is basically the set of mics we use in this space. Before coming here, I never even knew Sony did radio mics, but they're quite well known. They're used in the industry in the West End. So I think it's good for us to have these here, so that when we do go into the industry, we're quite familiar with the kit. So yeah, if we come across here, this is kind of where we keep everything else that's not the radio, right? So we've got batteries and like pens to colour, mics, and well, I'll show you a mic here. Here's one of the mics for the show, with labels that we've made, and it's been coloured as well to match the skin appropriately and the hair. And I said, we're using 22 of these, so we have to keep on top of 22 mics. We've got batteries. We've got 2 sets of 48 for 24, because each pack takes 2 batteries. At the moment we've got 2 sets of 44 because there's only 22. So we've labelled them purple and orange, so we know what's not charged and what's charged, and so we can just keep them separate and get them into a good cycle. Got our radios here that help us communicate with, well, helps me communicate with the number 2 and the number 1 and anyone else really who's on the radio. And yeah, just more bits and bobs around. We've got kind of like, we've got hair clips in here. I can get this open. Basically these hair clips allow us to get the mics in the hair with the little elastic that's on it. They're quite difficult to make, or quite tedious should I say. So yeah, these basically help us get the mics through the hair.
Great. Do you want to show us the stage level just over the gantry here? If the lights are on, yes.
Yeah, so this is our auditorium. As you can see, we have a pit in this space as well. There's 9 members in the orchestra, or the band. So we've got a quartet, let's say 2 violins, viola, cello. We've got the MD, we've got reeds, we've got percussion, and double bass and electric bass. Obviously this space is quite small for a pit like this, and acoustically it was quite difficult to battle with the sound acoustically and to amplify it through the PA as well. And with the PA, I think we're running around 30 plus speakers we've got. This is our pros front bar, where we've got our circle PA and our centre clusters, which kind of fire at the circle and the stalls, which helps us to give even coverage. We've got surrounds as well, and we've got loads of fold back in the pit and on stage for everyone on stage to listen and have an even coverage, and we've got delays for everyone further away from the stage.
Great, thanks Jeremy. So that's this show and what's coming up show role wise. What does the rest of the academic year look like for you?
Yeah, so got some more show roles to come up. I'm doing some production sound engineer stuff, assistant on that, which I've never done before, so that would be interesting. And some number 1 shadowing, which will help me prepare for next year. When we finish this module, production practice, we're gonna go into another one where we essentially get prepared for our roles in our next year, which are more management roles. So number 1, PSE, assistant sound designer, and things like that.
Glorious. Thank you, Jeremy.
Nice.